I never would have thought that my videos would be the most viewed car street videos of all time on YouTube. Seriously, the most viewed of all time. And I don't say that to brag because as you'll see in this story, I can't really take credit for any of it. As many of you know, the most important thing about this YouTube channel for me is the streak. For those of you who don't know, when I say the streak, what I'm referring to is that since Grant and I started posting YouTube videos back in early 2017, we have posted once a week without missing once till right now. We always post once a week. We really haven't missed once. Now, on top of that streak, the most important thing about posting once a week is that we make sure that every video is high quality. There's nothing lazy being put up just to maintain the streak. The streak means nothing if we're putting out crappy videos. Every video has to be high quality, ready to go once a week. It's a promise I made to myself that I would do it once a week until we hit 100,000 subscribers. We hit 100,000 subscribers and I really see no reason to stop the streak now. So it's always going. Now, considering that that streak has lasted 3.5 years, as you can imagine, there have been times where it almost died, where we almost didn't have a video ready each and every week. And this story revolves around the time when the streak was probably most in jeopardy. Let's rewind the tapes to December of 2018. I was heading into my final semester of college. So I was a senior in college. I was going home for Christmas break and gonna be coming back for my final spring semester. However, as many of you guys know, I have some very serious stomach issues that have plagued me for about 8 years now. It's impossible for me to go into all the details of that in this video, but at a certain point, I'll tell that whole story too. For now, all you need to know is that these stomach issues, they fluctuate. Some days I could be really, really healthy, and some days it just gets really, really bad. And some days when it gets really, really bad, days can turn to weeks, can turn to months, and then I'm in lots of trouble. This was one of those times. I had gotten so sick that I ended up losing about 50 to 60 pounds. I was so sick that I legitimately had not ate for about 2 weeks. Anything that I ate, even if it was just a liquid, would cause an extremely adverse and painful reaction. Those weeks at the end of December were seriously some of the worst days of my life. Everything was going bad. I would just spend most of the days in bed, hoping that I wouldn't throw up my own stomach acid from drinking water. I say that not to be gross, just that's the type of stuff that was happening. The usual medicines that I take were not working, so we decided that I was gonna have this surgery to try and fix things for good. But the surgery could only take place in Texas, so I was going to college in Virginia, and I'm from PA, so we had to travel cross country for me to get this surgery. But the surgery couldn't be scheduled till after the first week of January, so I still had 10 days I had to suffer through before I got to the surgery. Now, as I mentioned previously, the streak is probably one of the most important things to me in my life. So we were coming to a crossroads. I was focused on getting, just surviving to get to this surgery. I felt like I was gonna pass out about 24/7. My stomach was constantly in extreme pain. I couldn't eat, couldn't really drink that well without causing issues, but I still needed to make a video for this upcoming Thursday, which put me in a predicament. Obviously, when you don't eat for that long, you don't drink that much, you don't look that healthy. And I didn't really want to tell the internet how sick I was, just didn't feel like sharing that information. So I just really, really desperately didn't want to appear on video. My skin looked horrible, as it does sometimes when my stomach flares. I was so weak, I didn't want to talk. I didn't want to do anything. I didn't want to pretend like everything was okay. And I was like, maybe the streak dies now because we got some more important things going on. As I explained before, the key to the streak is high quality content that isn't lazy. So I'm sitting there on Wednesday night before the Thursday that we need to post, and I'm thinking, what's the quickest video I could make that doesn't show my face where I don't have to talk? And I was like, what if I just set up the camera and recorded me doing all the flourishes I know? So I grabbed this brand new deck of cards I had. It was the Skull and Bones. I opened it up on camera, did the sniff thing as a joke, because that's from our old video. That's like how to open up and break in a deck of cards. Just sniffed the cards, you know, did all the flourishes I know. Wasn't even planning on making an ASMR video while I was recording it. I was just recording all the flourishes I knew. And then once I was done, I was so exhausted, took out my laptop, went and sat in bed, and in bed, you know, started editing the video. At this point, I was completely stuck. I had no idea what to do. I didn't know what type of music to edit it to. I didn't really know what the point of it was. I thought I was gonna make it like a deck showcase type review video. And then I figured, why not just do the laziest thing possible? Don't add music, don't add any editing, just put the moves out there and just leave the sound in. I've never been into ASMR myself, but I knew it existed. So I just edited the video, put the clips together, did some crossfades on the audio, lifted all the music, put some text pop-ups, and then I made the simplest thumbnail possible, which is just a screenshot of Bloom, tagged the word ASMR because I was figuring like, hey, you know, it's the sounds of playing cards. Put the title as is. I think I made the title something like the soothing sounds of playing cards. I really didn't think anything of it. And then you guys know that I really didn't want to make a lazy video like that, a lazy video. So I put at the end that, hey guys, sorry I couldn't make a cool video this week. Going into surgery next week, feel really sick. Put that in the video just so you guys knew that I wasn't being lazy on purpose. I post the video, it doesn't really perform well at all. It gets about 5,000 views, which was pretty below average for us at that point in time. Fly to Texas, get the surgery. Lots of you guys know the story from this point in time. Surgery makes me a lot more sick. I spent 11 days in Texas, almost dying. Then finally I'm able to get shipped back home in the plane once I'm strong enough. And then I get really, really healthy after 11 days. I'll link the video talking about what happened with the surgery if any of you guys are really curious about the details. But it didn't go as planned, and then it went as planned. I guess I had a really bad reaction to the transplant at first, and then it took, and I started doing a lot better. But anyway, the video didn't really perform well at all. I get healthy, I go back to school, and then a couple months later, all of a sudden, the video starts blowing up, and it hits 1.2 million views. I know lots of you guys might be aspiring YouTubers yourself, so as you can imagine, the feeling of getting a video that goes viral, define viral as going over 1 million views, is crazy. Never experienced anything like that before. I'm checking my phone app and subscribers are just flying in by the hundreds. Every 10 minutes you have 100 new subscribers. It's just crazy to experience for the first time. And I'm like, oh my gosh, the video that I thought everyone would hate is the one that everyone's loving, and that's getting us all these subscribers and views. My mind was blown. It didn't even really sink in for me that that was the video that I made right before surgery that I really didn't want to make. It had 1 million views, and I was like, you know what? Let me see if it'll hit 1 million again. I'll just do the same type of video. So I do Cardistry ASMR 2, and that gets 1.4 million views. And then I wait a while, do Cardistry ASMR 3, and that gets 6.3 million views. And then 4, and they just keep getting over 1 million views. They just kept going viral over and over and bringing in all these subscribers. The first one, the original one that I did right before surgery, even got featured on a YouTube channel with 19 million subscribers, Fine Bros Entertainment. You had all these people reacting to it. It's like, that is weird. Who would have thought that that's the video that took off? And now we have over 250,000 subscribers. The videos always seem to take off when we post them. We have so many of you guys watching our videos weekly, ASMR or not, and I know so many of you guys have been with us for so much longer than when I posted that first ASMR video. There's no doubt that those videos helped get us to where we are today at 250,000 subscribers. It's insane. But what's crazy for me and why I sit here and tell this story for a weekly video is that if you were to ask me if I could go back and not experience those 3 to 4 weeks of my life and just not go through them, the answer would 100 times out of 100 be yes. Those were some of the worst, most painful days of my life. Like I said, you could go watch the video that I made after I got back, because Grant made 2 videos the 2 weeks I was really sick after the surgery. Couldn't get out of it. It was horrible. The pain that I was in is something that I'll never forget. Just unable to sleep, just the daily amount of physical pain that I was experiencing. It's enough to make you want to quit. I had to quit. I had lost all hope. It was horrible. And I would always go back and say, just I tap out. I don't want to do that. I don't want to experience that. I don't want to go through it. But I sit here today and I know that the channel wouldn't be where it's at. Those videos wouldn't exist if I wasn't so sick that I was able to put my pride aside and make a video that I didn't want to make, that I thought was lazy, that I was stupid, just to keep the streak alive. And that's the video that turns into all of this success. My biggest success on YouTube is because of one of my biggest failures. There's no way one happens without the other, and I never would have chose to go through that if it was up to me. So that's the story of the first Karshi ASMR video. You can take from it what you want, but the reason why I wanted to sit here and tell that story for YouTube is because maybe some of you are where I was a year and a half ago. Maybe you're at one of the lowest points in your life. Maybe you're suffering through extreme amounts of pain, mentally or physically. But the reason I tell this story is this is just one example of maybe that experience that you're going through now is exactly what you need to be experiencing. Maybe you're exactly where you need to be, and the stuff that you're learning and the stuff that you're doing because of where you're at is setting you up for something massive and amazing in the future. I believe that God has a plan for my life, and I believe God has a plan for your life. That's what I believe. And the same God that sees you at your lowest and is letting you go through all that pain sees exactly what you will become in the future because of it.